Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. Okay, today I have a kind of different video. I noticed something on Christian Dior Finance's website that I thought was quite interesting, and I saw it being covered on a few like obscure financial news sites. But initially I thought I read it wrong. I was like, maybe this isn't really important. But then as I started to do my research, I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually so interesting. For those of you who love Dior, love luxury shopping, I think you're really gonna like this video. So please make sure that you're subscribed, hit that bell, and please also like this video and comment below and tell me what you think. So basically, a few years ago in 2016, Christian Dior issued a request for notes. Notes is basically a very fancy financial term for a loan that a company will ask for, and then they will promise to return the principal amount of the loan with interest at a later date to you. Lots of companies in very boring, unsexy industries use this, and they do this all the time. It's nothing new at all. But fashion companies, I think it gets more attention obviously because it's just like very glamorous and glossy. I love the stock market and financial services and all that finance stuff, so I'm always reading about it anyway. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, let me, read what this is about. So that was a few years ago. That was in 2016. Now, guess what? That note is maturing. And guess when it's maturing? It's maturing this month, okay? By the time you watch this video, today's the 1st of March, but the video is going to be up on Tuesday. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so Christian Dior raised 350 million euros. I thought I was dreaming when I saw this sum on the press release. They even have this very glossy press release that I'm going to link below with Christian Dior, 30 Avenue Montaigne, Paris, 8e arrondissement, okay? Very, very high-end glossy addresses, guys. And the press release says that they asked for 350 million euros, as I said. And here they're telling their investors, or note holders as they're called in finance, that the redemption date for the notes is the 24th of March 2021, which is obviously this month. Now get this, if you are smart enough, okay, if you are liquid enough to get a note from Christian Dior, you're going to get the entire principal sum that you gave to Dior, and you're also going to accrue interest. So you're going to get an interest payment alongside your principal sum. Get ready for it. The interest payment is 1,963,000. I can't even pronounce it because it's just so much money. It's like 1,963,356 and 16 centimes euros. Guys, this is just a ton of money. So basically it's like 2 million euros. And they're saying here, note holders are advised to inform themselves on the specific conditions relating to redemption and interest calculation as provided for in the terms and conditions. So there they're just letting you know that they have already calculated the interest. So you can't then go be like, oh, okay, but I want more money. What this probably means is they were probably many note holders, so people who gave Dior money and are now going to get it back with interest. But I was speaking to a friend of mine who works in financial services in London, and because I wanted to make sure that I was saying all of this correctly, and she was like, no babe, you're saying it correctly, but she was like, many people who have signed up for this probably have done it with like what are called like, I guess you would say shell company, but that's not really true because they're not doing this to evade tax. It's more like a company that someone sets up so that they can invest in things. In my country, people invest under their own name. So I have shares and I have stocks and shares in companies in my country. And when I buy my shares and my stocks, I use my own name. I'm not necessarily investing tons of money, but I do invest because I really enjoy it. Now, the people who are going to be investing in Dior are probably going to be the following types of people. First of all, let's make a distinction between the two types of investors that would probably have taken this note. You have what's called like institutional investing and institutional shareholders, so like pension funds. endowment funds for unis, they do tons of investing. So they might do something like this. Hedge funds, general investment firms. And then you have something called family offices. So my friend was telling me about family offices today. I've heard about it before, but I was like really shocked by like what she was telling me. So she was like, a family office would probably take this Dior note. So what that is imagine you're from a very wealthy family. Very wealthy families, in order to keep their money in the family, they tend to invest together, and they tend to have like a business manager or a fund manager who pools all their money together and invests this on their behalf. And then at the end of the year or in the middle of the year, there'll be a dividend or a payment that's paid out to all of the heirs within the family. So she was like, family offices have probably done this a lot. So I was asking her, I was like, is there a way to see who the people who have like taken this note? And she was telling me that France have got very strict privacy laws, and I've heard about that before. In my country, if you are a shareholder, you can ask to see a shareholder's registration roll, and you can see every single company, individual that has shares. I don't know about France, but I know from what she said about the notes, it's not easy to like get that information because France does have quite strict privacy laws. It's not that it would be difficult to get. You could probably get it if you maybe had access to databases where you had to pay for this stuff. But it just kind of shows you like there is like a lot of secrecy around like the financing of these brands. And I know that obviously it's a shopping channel. I love shopping, but I do love like the behind the scenes, like financial side of these companies. I find it so fascinating. So this interest amount and the principal, as I said, is going to be paid on the 20th. They say here the redemption date, which is just a glossy way of saying the date when the note will mature and the payment will be ready to be executed, is the 24th of March. They even go as far as saying who is responsible for making the payment, which is Société Générale Security Services. Société Générale is a very famous French bank. And they also make a point of saying that literally once the payment has been made, I love this part, this is in the press release. They say, and such so payments have been made to the relevant account holders, it will discharge the liability of the issuer, which is Dior in this case, under the notes to the extent of which the sums have been so paid. So they're basically saying, cool, once we pay, we're done with you people, okay? So don't come back to us for more money and asking for more interest. So they're going to make, and they keep reminding here in the press release, they're like, payment of the principal amount and interest on the redemption date. It's just so clear, like when you're getting the money. Obviously, many people who will be getting these notes are what's called sophisticated investors. There's a lot of controversy about investing right now. I'm sure those of you who are into finance, you probably know about the whole GameStop thing and Reddit. I don't really want to go into that. That's not really the scope of this video, but there's a lot of talk about individual investors, so like you and me, and whether we know what we're doing and if we understand the liabilities of investing. So it goes without saying, if you're watching this video and you're feeling inspired, you need to understand that that's your money you're risking and you could lose it. Dior is a huge brand within LVMH, and Dior seems to have its own kind of freedom within the holding company of LVMH, because the fact it has its own website and it reports its own specific financials, that just kind of shows you how much power that Dior has. So it's such a huge brand. Would it fail to repay 350 million euros? Probably not. So it probably seems like it's like a safe bet, but there are no guarantees in finance. So please make sure that if you're someone who's like into this stuff, make sure that you're reading, you're doing your research, and you're working with a financial advisor so that you don't like make any stupid mistakes. On the day that I shot this video, which is the 1st of March, Dior's share price was more than 400 euros. I think they do have a dividend that they're paying this year, but I think the dividend amount is very low. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but they are paying a dividend this year. But each share is 400 euros. So if you were to buy 10 shares, that would cost you 4,000 euros. You would get a dividend payment, but it's not obviously going to cover the cost of the original shares, but that's not really the point. You should be investing. Everyone has their own investment strategy, but investing is like you're investing for the future and you're investing for where you think things will go. I will post the full press release from Dior itself so you can read it. Okay, I'm not capping. I think it's amazing that they are paying out so much money It's amazing to see these press releases just being written in such a nonchalant way, like, oh yeah, guys, we took out 350 million euros in notes and we're returning 1.9 million euros in interest. But it's also just so fascinating. So you might be wondering, like, well, how's this relevant to me if I'm buying something for Dior? I think it's very relevant to you. Companies tend to raise money through notes and bonds when they're trying to expand their businesses. So Dior has money, I'm sure. LVMH have reserve money, but it's better to use other people's money to do expansion. You wouldn't necessarily use your own like cash reserves within your company, because you need those in case of force majeure, act of God, hello C19. So that you can ride out those waves. So this is actually very smart. And my friend said that because of C19, that's why she was like, oh, the interest payment is how much? I told her. She's like, okay, so on 350 million euros, they're paying 1.9 million in interest back to the note holders. And she's like, oh my God, if C19 wasn't happening, I'm sure they'd be paying way more because they're just so talented. Like, you have like the best people in finance who are working for these companies, and you have the creme de la creme of business who are working for these brands. So they know how to maneuver money. And you might be thinking, like, what would they be using the money for? We don't know in Dior's example, because they haven't said what they were going to use the money for specifically. But obviously a brand like Dior has a lot of arms. You have haute couture, you have obviously Dior itself, you know, prêt-à-porter, clothing, accessories. And then you have beauty, which is huge. You have the expansion into Asia. You have other emerging markets like the Persian Gulf, the Middle East, Russia, Latin America. You have places like that where obviously it would be wise for them to invest in, because they're growing incomes in those places and people are very wealthy. So they could use that money for a whole host of things. But in most cases, when they raise lots of money like that, they have a very specific business plan and they know exactly what they're going to do with the money. So anyone who took out some money to give to Dior, you're getting paid this month on the 24th. We're happy for you. And I know what some of you are thinking, like, how do I get involved into this stuff? Or if you're interested, you know, you should get a financial advisor. You should get a stockbroker. You should get someone who's trustworthy and honest. An honest financial advisor has what's called a fiduciary responsibility to protect you if they think you're making a bad financial decision. So you should absolutely speak to a professional, someone with actual certificates, not like random people on the internet. So that's why I was telling you, please make sure that you research this stuff. I researched these things in a lot of detail. Before I even did this video, I read the press releases, I was reading reports, I was making sure that I understood everything. I contacted my friends to make sure that I'm saying everything correctly. So in summary, Dior raised 350 million euros in notes. The notes have matured. They're maturing on the 24th of March. They're going to be paid out to the note holders, aka investors. And there's also going to be an interest payment of almost 2 million euros. Now, most of the people, I think, who are individual investors in this, they're going to be people who are very, very wealthy. We don't know the amounts of which we don't know the starting amount basically for the notes. So we don't know if it was like 5,000 euros, 10,000 euros, 20,000 euros. But obviously you have to be wealthy in order to take part in stuff like this. I do think that fashion, you know, is such a huge market. I know many people think like, oh, luxury shopping in fashion is like so frivolous. 350 million euros is not frivolous, you guys. So anytime someone wants to say something, remember that scene in The Devil Wears Prada where Miranda is like making Meryl Streep, Miranda's character, is like checking Anne Hathaway, like when she's laughing about, I think it was like cerulean, and she's like, oh, haha. So you think it's like so pathetic when you have no idea that like you're wearing that jumper, honey, because we chose that bluebie. Okay, so anytime someone wants to say something, I think of like Devil Wears Prada, and then I think of actual real things that are happening like this. So in terms of like, how does this affect you? It doesn't really affect you per se. It just means that Dior has more money to invest in product development and to design new bags and new products that we love. You'd think with all of this money sloshing around that Dior had, you'd think that they would not discontinue bags that people liked. I don't care what anyone says, okay? I really like the Diorama. I really like the Jadior bags. I'm sad to see them go. And no, I'm not going to buy them on resale. I don't like buying used items. It's just not for me. It's nothing personal. It's just not something I'm interested in. Maria Grazia is a phenomenal designer. I love the work she was doing at Valentino before with her previous design partner. This is not an attack on Maria Grazia. I like some of what she's doing, but there are other things I don't really understand. It doesn't matter. Dior is crushing it, okay? They're meeting their financial obligations and making tons of money. My little opinion doesn't matter, but I'm still going to share it anyway with you guys. Right now, I want to talk about the things I'm loving at the moment from Dior and the things I'm hating. I'm loving the saddlebag. I know so many of you hate it and you think it looks like a liver. Another friend of mine said it looks like a kidney bean. She might not be lying though, it really does kind of look like a bean. It does look beany, because she was like, honey, those look like beans, okay? But I do like the saddlebag. I love the book tote. I've talked about the book tote before. I know many people don't like book tote. I like it. And I really like the homeware stuff from Dior. I love their makeup anyway, but I also really like the Dior notebooks. I'm always writing things down about my business. So I've been looking at those notebooks and I think I'm pretty much going to pull the trigger, and I'll probably have an unboxing for you guys this month. So please make sure that you stay subscribed if you want to see that, because I'm pretty much ordering it. I just even contacted my courier, like, oh, I'm gonna order this notebook. What's the issue of getting it through customs? And they were like, okay, you're ordering a notebook. They're kind of laughing at me. So those are the things I love about Dior right now. The things I do not like about Dior, honey, I do not like the Caro bag, okay? I think this was actually a missed opportunity for Dior. We all know that Catherine Dior was Christian Dior's sister. That was his confidant. They were best friends. They had a deeply close relationship. I was actually just reading about her when I was researching this video. She passed away in June 2008. And she died at 91 and she's buried next to him. They were extremely close. I think this was a huge opportunity. For the Dior purists out there, there are many Dior purists who are not a fan of MGC and who miss the days of Galliano. Personally, I love John Galliano. I think he's one of the best fashion designers to have ever lived. There are many people who do not like MGC. And I think that the Caro was an opportunity to do something special, something amazing. Yeah, just didn't really work out for me personally. No shade if you have purchased the bag. If you have, let me know, or just give me your opinions on it. I'm personally not a fan of that bag. I also do not like the bobby. I think the bobby is even worse than that. I literally, the bobby to me looks like a bag you'd get from the newspaper rounds of the 1950s. You know when you watch like old movies on TV and there's like a young boy or something, he has like a satchel. I really don't understand, and it's not retro in a good way. I don't really understand what they're doing with that. So in general, those are things that that's like where I'm fitting right now when it comes to Dior. Those are things that I like. I completely forgot about the Lady Dior. I love the Lady Dior, so I'll put that in the like category, and then I have the things that I don't like in the other category. I think Dior is up and down. The brand itself constantly changes and constantly reinvents itself. I know that's not really for everyone. I'm not really someone who cares about classic pieces all the time. I like trendy pieces. I like looking different. I like prints. As you can see, I'm even wearing my head wrap. I like prints. I like standing out. When it comes to the Dior saddle, I have links in the description, the one that I personally like. I believe this is from the cruise collection that came out towards the tail end of last year. I love this bag. It's 4,000, I think it's like 4,200 at Selfridges. I'll link it below. For those of you in the UK, you can only buy it in store. I love it. I love the saddles that are textured. I've always loved bags with weird, creepy shapes. It's just something I'm into. I don't like normal shapes. So anytime I see a bag with a strange shape, I'm just instantly attracted. I don't like the saddle with the normal colors, but I do like it with this one, for example. So it's textured, it's very glamorous, it's very beautiful. And in fact, I think I'll slide a photo here. So you can see that one. It's just a very different kind of saddlebag. It's not like the typical black one. There are also the ultra matte ones. Those ones are completely sold out online. There's like a pink one that was so cute. I was looking at it online and it's completely sold out. Another bag that I really like is the Dior Cruise Book Tote. I love this bag. This one is like £2,650 at Selfridges. Also obsessed with this. I think it's very fresh and nice. It's a fabric bag that is irritating, and it's going to take a lot of, it's definitely going to get soiled quickly, particularly for someone like me. I live in a country that's very hot, very tropical. We have a lot of dust, we have a lot of sand in my country. So it is going to get soiled quickly, but I do absolutely love it. I'm gonna slide a photo in here so you can see it. Ultimately, I think that Dior creates absolutely breathtaking, beautiful products for the most part. I think they also have a lot of misses, honey, and a lot of flops, okay? And that's just how I feel. My opinion is not relevant. I'm not going to be invited to any Dior boutiques, and I'm okay with that. So I just want to give my personal opinion. But in general, I do actually like most of their products. I'm actually on their website a lot. I think that Dior have one of the best website interfaces as well. I think their online shopping experience is really, really good. I was on Zara's website the other day. Terrible website, horrifically bad website. They need to just destroy that website and put it in an incinerator and get rid of it. But Dior's website is absolutely brilliant, and it definitely makes you want to shop because they really do present the products in a beautiful way. I would love to know what you guys think about the financial news about Dior. What do you think about all that stuff? What do you think about the world of like fashion investing and high fashion investors, and who do you think the people are who are investing in these brands? I'd love to know what you think. And also, what do you think of the bags and the products that I just mentioned that I liked? Do you like the saddle? Do you like the Dior bag? What do you think of the notebooks? I think they're so cute. What do you think of the Caro, the Bobby? I really don't like those bags. Like when I see them, I'm instantly annoyed. I can't believe anyone likes those bags, but if you do, it's not personal, it's just my opinion. So tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you guys. Please make sure that you like this video, and also, yeah, drop me a comment. I love hearing from you guys. I always respond. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. I can't wait to read your comments or to hear from you guys on Instagram DM. One more thing, I'm on TikTok. Please join me on TikTok. Link in the description below. If you're on TikTok, like, make sure you comment on one of my TikToks and say, hey Kagam, I saw you on YouTube. I will follow you back, I promise. So I'm trying out new things. My husband is laughing at me so much. And even right now, my husband was like, babe, you are not reaching 500 subscribers. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. There's so many more of you now who have subscribed to my channel. I'm deeply honored. God bless you. Thank you. My husband said if I get to 500 subs, okay, he's going to give me a gift. Help your girl out here, okay? Help me get a beautiful gift from my husband. Please make sure that you stay subscribed, and I'll see you in my next video.